Okay, let's see here. I think we should be okay. Here we go. All right. What's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, I got my brother Brandon here, me, on this journey to this NFL. We are on our fourth episode of season 2023. Today, it is all about the Indianapolis Colts and how their season pretty much went about, what could be better, what changes they made, and who we think the Indianapolis Colts are going to take. So, here it is, pick number 4, Indianapolis. Brandon, you ready to get this party started?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Indianapolis, after a 4-12 in season, came youth. Indianapolis Colts have been awarded the 4th pick in this year's draft. And man, to say that we don't know what Indianapolis's game plan was kind of an understatement. It was kind of weird. You know, they started with Frank Wright. They bring in Jeff Saturday. There was a little part where it's beat Brandon on the YouTube side. So Jack Wild Sports Show on YouTube, be able to see Brandon live right now. So Indianapolis had a crazy season. There's no other way to put it. We're in a division. Should take pieces. They think they did anything but it. You know, they finished 30th offense, 20 on defense, and Indianapolis has this weird rotation at quarterbacks as of late. You know, ever since Andrew Luck, it's just been quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarter. And pretty much, it's a revolving door of quarterbacks at Indianapolis. You know, starting with Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers, and then you got Carson. Then you had Carson Wentz. Matt Ryan is your latest addition. There's no stability. Nobody was going to win like that. Frank Wright was never going to win like that. And he did it. That's, you know, they bring in Jeff Saturday, who literally was analyzing the team 24 hours. And then bring him in. Brandon, if you were to describe the Indianapolis, for the people that didn't know or didn't watch the Indianapolis Colts, describe the Indianapolis Colts in one word this season that they had. If you were to describe
it. To describe it is one thing. I would just tell people to go to, week 16, I think. Saturday, Minnesota. Just go watch that game. Not watch the whole game. Just watch the second half of that game. That was the Colts. That was the Colts in full. That was the Colts. That was literally the Colts. Juan is looking up because he knows I'm telling the truth. That was literally the Colts in full. It was literally like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, you have to be fucking kidding me that they just let Minnesota, who literally didn't even have a defense, but they had a defense on that day. like, just in the second half. They didn't have to have a defense the entire game. Just in the second half. Just what the fuck was that? It's just like
they
what?
were up. Like, I literally was like, man, this game's over. Let's turn it off. Oh, man. Nah, man. It's just not what it was. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The Indianapolis Colts just had a bad year. They just had bad breaks after bad breaks after bad breaks. And,
that game was not a bad break. That was just an ass whooping. You forgot to continue to administer. That was a bad fucking game. That right there and there should have told you Jeff Saturday is just not a head coach. That
He
game
wasn't that
alone.
much to begin with. He was a guy just, you know, it's one thing like, if Jim Irsay has connection with players and he trusts players, cool, cool. But your staff probably just need a head coach, but no, Irsay just this. I like Jim because he's one of those owners that he's like a dangerous rubber band. You just don't know which way he's gonna fling one day. It's like a dangerous rubber band, man. And I love that because he tried. Listen, I think he did what an owner would try to do. My team is down in the dumps. Let me go out of the box. It didn't work. All right. I mean, it happened. I gave him A for effort, but let's stick to people that have actually, are up to date on today's NFL to be
Can,
the head coach.
can,
You know,
can we can we can we explain? The Colts season was doomed the first game of the season. Let's be real. When Houston tied the game when the Colts was supposed to win the division, that season was doomed. We should have just known it right then and there. Like we should have known it. It was a bad omen. We should have known right then and there. Like, wow, the Colts suck. Like that shit shouldn't have happened. Like we should have known right then and there. Like, oh wow, the Colts suck. Like, what the fuck was that? David Mills made this game a competitive game. What the hell is going on with this? It's like Rex Burkhead made this game competitive. Brendan Cooks. Like, what the fuck is the Colts doing? Oh, we should have known. We should have known right then and there.
it was bad, and it's just I don't understand. A bad spot. They trusted Matt Ryan, and you know what? I think anybody, you have to take a shot when a former MVP. You gotta take. You have. At that point, you couldn't have lost anything. Jonathan Taylor, who was like RB1 in fantasy world, was like a complete miss. 861 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, 28 receptions with 143 yards. It was just like a miss. And then Michael Pittman, 99 receptions, 925 yards, and 4 touchdowns. You're just like, and these guys that went early in fantasy, Taylor was running back one overall. Everybody's bored. A lot of people drafted Mike in late third, because they thought Indianapolis was just going to coast through the division. It was just bad. It was just bad all the way around. And then, lose defense. Rocky you traded him to the Raiders. Shaquille Leonard was hurt. A lot of players, DeForest Buckner, a lot of players. It was just bad. It was just bad all the way around. There's no way to put this other than it was just a rough time. So work out. The Indianapolis Colts are stuck in a revolving door of quarterbacks because now the next question is, who's the next quarterback? Is it Colt? Like we that's the thing. The problem is the Indian. Ever since Andrew Luck retiring has put the Indianapolis Colts in such bad that I'm like, dude, I bet you missed right now, don't you? And his arm was shot by the time he got to Indianapolis. I mean, it was shot. All those years that he played in San Diego, like it was shot, dude. And yeah, it just, when we whole thing, you didn't feel bad for Indianapolis, because they had Peyton Manning all those years, and then boo-hoo, you got Andrew Luck number one. Boo-hoo, you expect me to feel? There was only two franchises in the world where I was just like, I'm not gonna feel sorry for. Indianapolis was one of them because you went from Peyton Manning, it was the other far to Aaron Rodgers. I do not feel sorry for you, like at all. I don't. I don't feel sorry for you guys. Now, Indy, I feel bad now because it's like, okay, you've had the revolving door of quarterback. So I get you now. I understand. You're getting there. Green Bay, I don't feel too bad. It's like, dude, you had Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre for like almost. You've had him for a very long time.
30
Since
years.
I've been one, Brett
Like 30 years.
only quarterback that stood week one for Green Bay. Okay, Like that is 3 decades. I am 32. They're almost going close to 4 decades. All right. I don't feel sorry for Colts. It's a revolving door. And listen, defense has been taking steps backwards for a very long time now. I mean, literally, four defense was supposed to be. They're just going so backwards. You know, Zary Franklin, the linebacker, finally a linebacker leads the team in tackles. Finally, and he led the league. He was up there with league leading tackles, with 3 sacks, 6 pass deflections, and 2 forced fumbles. Yannick Ngakwe finished the year with, and by the way, can we get off the Colts for a minute and just strictly focus on Yannick Ngakwe for a second? I don't think I've ever met a pass rusher that has done more, has put up great numbers to end in 2016. Not one. Not one. Every year, he gets 9+ sacks every single year. And nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody. Nobody wants to talk about Yannick, and nobody. All right? I said it last year with us. Oh, by the way, I do want to tell you, Jonathan Abram, he's signing with the Saints right now. I just got notification.
I know.
Or linebacker issue, however you want to play it, however you want to put him. Anyway, Yannick Ngakwe is one of those dudes who he does and gets recognition. So can we start recognizing him as probably one of the better pass rushers in the league? Not defensive ends, not defensive players, but one of the better pass rushers in the league. Like this dude can somebody give him his flowers? Because doing this
how
shit
much do
in the league in 2016.
How much do you miss him right now on that defense?
On my defense?
Yes.
Oh, him and Max Crosby killed it together last year, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Killed it, man.
Yeah, that's what it's just.
They killed
Chandler
it.
Jones.
Yannick
Chandler Jones did his thing. Chandler Jones did his
but
thing.
Not like Yannick last year. Yannick.
Yeah, it wasn't like him. It was not like him. It wasn't.
Yes, he can't stop the run, but goddamn, can he get after a quarterback? Goddamn, can he get after? But goddamn, he can get after a quarterback, and that's the thing. I want people to remember this name, Yannick Ngakwe. He's probably never going to go into the Hall of Fame, and he's going to have amazing numbers, and he's always been healthy. And it's like, dude, the dude plays his heart out, and I feel so bad because from Minnesota to Baltimore, like everywhere he's gone, he's had major success everywhere he's gone. And he cannot get again. Raiders, bring him back. Bring him back. Like, please, man. Anyway, I just wanted to get off the Colts. Ngakwe, his dues, because this dude has put in the time and nobody talks about him, like at all. And all he does is just shows up and just plays his fucking heart out. That's it. He does. Now, Rodney Thomas, on the other hand, a rookie. Don't really know his position that well. They put him as the money backer. Remember when Deion Buchanan with Arizona, he was a safety linebacker-ish, the money backer. Well, that's what he is. That's what he is. He led the team with 4 interceptions. Hey, I just think, me personally, when it comes to the Colts, I think the biggest issue for the Colts was this. Health was one of them, obviously, but that's the NFL. Everybody's always going to be hurt in their season. Nobody starts. Here's the thing: you might start healthy, but no one ever finished. Why the Colts pretty much this whole ordeal was, I think talent they're getting old. I'm sorry to say this, they're getting old. I mean, Matt Ryan was probably your youngest guy in the quarterback room. Even though that's exaggerating, but it is what it is, and I think from my perspective, I think it's just health. I think I think if the Colts were just a little bit more healthier, I think they would have found something. But with the inconsistencies on offense, you're hurting on defense. You switch the coaches. You don't know what your interim's doing. You don't know what your owner's going to do the next minute. It's very hard to predict what Colts were going to be ever. They were the wild card of the 2022 season. You just didn't know. Like Arizona was the drama. The Indianapolis Colts, you just didn't know what the heck you were going to get. You were either going to get a team that looked like the potential that they had in the beginning of the year, or you were going to get that Indianapolis Colts, Week 16 Indianapolis Colts. You were going to get that. So, Brandon, give me your. Let me hear it from you, man. What's up, man?
Man, the Colts. I mean, yeah, injuries. I mean, they kind of derailed the season. It's true. But when you say safety / linebacker leads their team in interceptions, what the fuck was Stephon Gilmore doing there? Like, what the fuck were you there for? Like, why are we paying you, sir? Like, why are you here? Like, you're supposed to be, I don't know, doing something of relevancy. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, I mean, he was covering the corner. I mean, he was eliminating their number one. I mean, so that's okay. It's all right. I mean, hey,
if you're eliminating the number one, you should have at least a pick or two. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, no
pick
money
against Denver.
Shit, that's okay. That's week 4. It's like week 4 against Russell Wilson, who had just as bad of a fucking season as their defense. Like, it's just like, come on. The Colts are all in all, man. Listen, when they traded and got Matt Ryan, I think we both were kind of like, I guess. I were like, I guess.
We hit a patch where we're just like, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, I was like,
I think that's what we were.
We were like, I guess, like that shit kind of okay, I guess. I mean, we were talking about the division. We forget that we were talking about the AFC South like we were talking about the NFC South. It's just like the AFC South is what we thought the NFC South would not be. Like it was just a terrible fucking division. Like we were like, Tennessee and the Colts should win the division, and neither one of them fucking won the division. That's how bad the AFC South was. Like neither one of them won the division. And the team that won the division,
none. We
don't even believe in the goddamn quarterback. Me and you both don't even believe in the goddamn quarterback of the team that won the division. That is how bad the AFC South
in Jacksonville. I only believe in the head coach. I only believe in Doug Peterson. It's very hard for me to get on that train of believing that.
And Doug Peterson, we trust. That's how this moves over here. And Doug Peterson, we trust. Other than that, the Jags, I don't know. I don't know. But listen, the Colts, in all, man, the Colts.
Yeah.
The Colts literally traded with the Jaguars as the second worst team in the division. We knew Houston was going to be bad, but fuck, did the Colts just like, oh, you think they're bad? Wait till you see us. They just was like, wait till you see us. Like, it was like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
I mean, we joke every year. Either Jacksonville or Houston's going to get number 1 or number 2. I didn't think Indianapolis was going to be like, well, we're going to challenge for number 2 too. Like, dude, that's not over 4, man. That's not over 4. I don't know. I think with Indianapolis right now, I think there's a lot to be left desired. That's what I'm going to remember from the season. It's like, dude, I think they had the talent. I think the injuries killed it, but I think when at healthy, they should have taken earlier the rest of the year, and they did not.
Yeah, I think with the Colts, all in all, I think what you said is true. I think they're getting older. And with being older, you kind of are stuck in like neutral because you're like, I don't want to, I want to keep what we did do, but also you can't really move forward with the people that can actually do, more for you. And it like you said, you don't feel any sympathy for the Colts. It's kind of fucked up to see this type of franchise kind of fall. I mean, like both of us have been watching NFL since we were kids, and it's like, the Colts have always been kind of fucking dominant. Like it's kind of weird.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I feel bad for them now, but I mean, trust me.
Yeah, like now you kind of
no. It's like no. I'm not gonna feel any sad. Like if you go And here's the thing, they still make playoffs and everything, so I'm like, I don't feel any sympathy for you. Now, the fact that you're revolving towards the quarterback, it's like, okay, now I got a little sympathy for you. But it like for 20 years, the Colts, I was just like, oh, boo-hoo. You went from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck. Like, I'm my friend when he's like, oh my God, Peyton Manning's leaving. And I'm like, boo-hoo. You're getting Andrew Luck. Go fuck yourself. Like, shut up, bro. I'm still looking for a quarterback.
It's weird to see a franchise like this just fucking fall. It's kind of weird. It is weird. Like they are like in the top, top 10 again in the draft. Like it's kind of
this is almost
weird.
like the equivalent. This is almost kind of like the equivalent of like, okay, Dallas being like this dominant in the 90s, and now we're just kind of like, okay, what about them? It's like Raiders in the 70s and 80s. They were so dominant, but now what players? Like, what
the thing about those two teams?
Who gives a crap? You know,
the thing about those two teams is that they are like we've seen their fall enough to know they ain't got enough. The Colts fall has been like instant.
It hurts. It's like wow.
Instant. Like it's like shit.
This is like wow. Really this must have been when like the people like seeing Rome fall. When the Roman Empire fell, it's kind of like wow, this is what it looked like, huh? Damn,
it's weird. It's like damn. I didn't know Andrew Luck took the whole joy of the Colts. Like he took the entire play football, have fun. We can win. We're like a franchise that still has something. He took that all with him because that shit has not
let me tell you what Andrew Luck did. You see the first Space Jam. Remember the first Space Jam from back?
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew Luck got a football, and he goes, "Make me look like the bad guy, right? I'm gonna steal all your powers, and now you're suffering without me, man." You know, and I did not know Andrew Luck would like do this to them. It would do this to them. And now I'm wow. Now we're literally talking about a team who like I'm used to being in the AFC Championship game. I'm used to seeing them win double digits every single year. I'm just like
you just literally call Andrew Luck. You just literally just call Andrew Luck a monster. That is literally the definition of
I did
just call Andrew Luck a monster. Like
I did. He pulled the joy out of the Indianapolis Colts facility. That's what he did. He did. He took everything around him, you know, and so there it is, folks. Now, I will say this. I think there's a little bit of hope for Indianapolis, though. I really say he learned his lesson. Well, let me backtrack that. Irsay did the right thing in actually hiring an NFL coach in today's modern NFL. Okay, so he got Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator from the Eagles. So, and they're running people, man. They're just losing people, bro. Like, dude, this is really messed up. So they bring in Shane, you know, offensive coordinator for the Eagles, and he did wonders. All right, like he's the right. I truly believe he's the right guy for this job. I mean, what he was able to do for Jalen Hurts, and to put everybody in a great position to be as dominant as they were. I have no doubt in my mind. I think this is I'll put it to you like this. I have more faith in this dude turning this franchise around than I do Jonathan Gannon turning around the Arizona Cardinals. If you told me right now, out of the coordinators that left Philly, I think the dude has a better chance of turning the Indianapolis Colts around than the Arizona freaking Cardinals. Because at least the difference between the Colts and Arizona is this. At least the Colts still have pieces. Jonathan Taylor is still a top running back. Michael Pittman is still a good wide receiver. Leonard is still there. DeForest Buckner is still there. Now, they traded away Stephon Gilmore, so now that's going to be an issue. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, put it like this. Rocky, and he had a great year for. Let's not forget, like he's gonna get like a shot somewhere in the NFL. Like he's gonna get a shot. Stephon Gilmore being from Colts to Dallas is kind of, oh man. Now you have opposite Trayvon Diggs, and I think that's gonna. that trade was only meant to help Trayvon Diggs. Like, let's be real about this. Like, let's be real about this, okay?
No,
Um,
no, don't say that.
and
Don't
look,
say
I
that
like
because
what
don't say that because Trayvon Diggs is the number one cornerback
I'm gonna give you.
according to
I'm gonna,
some people out there in this world. Trayvon Diggs is the number one cornerback, even though he gives
hey,
up
look,
more
man.
yards.
I'm gonna give all the Dallas Cowboy fans all the hope in the world because they need this. Because Jerry Jones is doing all these moves for one reason and one reason only. He knows one thing is this: he might be other things. Time is not going to be one of those things he beats. He knows he has this weird feeling of, I think I better go all in now before, you know, you know, not to say that I'm ever prying on someone or when man, like only when your body says, yeah, I think it's time to move on, man. But anyway,
Gotta
look,
get that talent.
I like what Shane did. I like what he, and here's the thing: Chris Ballard still knows how to draft.
Yeah,
He knows, and Chris Ballard is a good general manager. So I think those two together, I think they're gonna try. They're gonna build this team. Very quickly. I truly this team around quickly. And look, Taven Bryan, that's a great start. You pair him up with DeForest Buckner in a 4-3 defense, that's a great start. You're not going to get Yannick Ngakwe back. But you got Samson Ubukam from the Niners. Now you really look at your defensive, it's healthy again. It looks great again.
Yeah.
You got EJ Speed at linebacker, Tony Brown for corner for depth. And then realistically, you signed a kicker which was desperate now. You got Matt Gay from the Los Angeles Rams, who, let's face it, Matt Gay has been having 2 great years in Los Angeles. Now he gets to shine in Indianapolis, and that's the thing that Indianapolis has been missing. A really, really, again, when Andrew Luck left, he took Adam Vinatieri with him, and they've been missing those 2 positions very dearly. All right, they need a kicker, and it's a great kicker. All right, now the only thing is that you signed Gardner Minshew away from Philadelphia. Now, let's be real. Let's be real. I don't think he's intended to be the full-time starter. Okay, I don't think that's the intention. I think the intention in that one was he worked with him. He knows how to run the offense, and he's a good stopgap quarterback for this team. So, Brandon, after everything I just told you, give me a offseason goal for the Indianapolis Colts. What do you give them from hiring the new head coach and the hiring free? What grade we them right now?
I agree with you. I think that the new head coach is actually going to turn the Colts around real fast. I actually think the Colts aren't as bad as they looked last year. Jonathan Taylor was banged up for most of the fucking year. So that just really derailed their offense because Matt Ryan cannot throw the ball like that anymore. He's not that guy. I mean, maybe if he had Kyle Shanahan, maybe have a different conversation, but I don't know. He said no. He's like no. But listen, I think with Jonathan Taylor coming back, Michael Pittman Jr. there, also more Ali Cox, which last year as a rookie tight end, pretty freaking good. I mean, he was pretty damn good. I mean, you're gonna have a tight end like that. But more and more, I give it like a C. I give it a C. Yeah, you got Matt Gay. Yeah, you got some other guys, but again, like I always say, we gotta see how it looks on a football field. And for me, it's a C. You really didn't make any. You didn't really make any moves to really be like, ooh, that's a good move. Like it didn't have it wasn't anything like that. Like, ooh, that's a good move. Nothing. It was kind of like really nice pieces, really cool. You didn't really fix the old line, which last year you kind of physically needed to do. Quentin Nelson can do only so much. Like Quentin Nelson can only do so freaking much. Like
it's every position now, guys. Like, come on,
man. He can only do so freaking much, man. You didn't really fix the old line. You really didn't do a lot of things that really would shock the system when it comes to that. Yeah, you got Gardner Minshew, but you all, well, like you just said, you only got him just in case this whatever you draft. I'm assuming a quarterback doesn't probably work out right now, so you gotta pretty much save him, keep him like guarded for at least a 6, 7, 8 games. Probably the bye comes and then you start him. But yeah, I think for the Colts, it's a C. You traded Stephon Gilmore to the Cowboys, which is kind of, I don't know, it's a make or break deal. Like either it was a really good deal for the Colts or it's a really good deal for Dallas. I don't really see how it plays out for both. It's either really good for Dallas or it's really good for the Colts because you're like, well, Stephon Gilmore
Yeah,
lost a
it's
step.
one of those things where, yeah, it's one of those things where it's okay. We sent to Indianapolis, but we got Ngakwe, and they both won that trade. We got a good corner, and they got a good pass rusher. It wasn't like, for this Stephon Gilmore thing, it's either, well, you better make sure that the draft picks you got hit, because if Stephon Gilmore kills it and your picks don't, then it's gonna look bad on you. But if your picks
Yep.
kill it and Stephon Gilmore looks terrible, then hey, you did great. You got rid of him at
The right time.
I know this one I see close to a, yeah, like you said, nice pieces. I think you filled some holes. You're gonna have some players back. I just don't know. This isn't gonna be a year turn. This is gonna be like really build this from the ground up. But they're doing a nice job on getting a head start. And like I said,
Yeah.
I'm confident to turn this around quicker than what most people think. So it wouldn't really surprise them. Maybe like next year, maybe the Colts will be serious about fixing the O line. I mean, and they're going to try to fix the O line during the draft, and maybe there's like a free agent on a cheap year vet. This is going to be like one of those like, oh, next year the Colts are just going to turn this thing around. No, but I don't think they're going to have a bad year this year like they did last year. I don't think so. No way. I think the Colts will improve, but I still see them picking
Top 15.
not as high as 4. Like, okay, they improve, but they still need some work to do. Going to be as bad as they were this year. I don't think so.
Yeah, I get.
I think so.
I think in the top 15 by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
top
15 at minimum, and that's a great year.
Yeah, that's a really good year.
Like a great year at that point. So I mean, and that's just kind of like, okay, well, at least they know they're building it right. So you're working with something. So yeah, like I said, I like the pieces that they do, and as long as they're healthy, they can compete. Anybody can. The key is though, you got to stay healthy. That's the key. That is the key. So we'll see how. Like I said, I like the moves that they did. I like the hirings that they did. I'm holding on for one more year, and now we're just gonna see how this goes. So, all right, Brandon. Well, everything is done, said and done. I think we're all anticipating on what's going to happen at pick number 4. So let's just do a quick recap. So Brandon, he went Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud. I went CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson. So we're 1 for 3 on picks. So I can already tell you right now, we're going to be 1 for 4 on these. Brandon, go ahead. This is going to the draft at number 4.
All right. Here we go. For the number 4 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky. Listen, on my board, Bryce Young is still there, but I don't think he's going to the Colts. I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry. I just don't see it happening. I think Will Levis kind of fits the Colts mantra, I guess. A 6'6" guy like Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning type. A Gardner Minshew fits that situation very well because he's a veteran. He's been around the league for years. But eventually he's going to take over the team. We already know this. I just think Will Levis fits the Colts. I don't know why. I just feel like they're going to protect him. God almighty, are they going to protect him? And Jonathan Taylor is going to have a resurgence this year, and that's kind of how they're going to protect him. Like I said, they're going to probably draft him, sit him for the first couple of weeks just to see if he can catch up to the game. And by the end of the year, he's going to be the starting quarterback because you're going to have to see if you got something or you're going to have to draft another quarterback next year. But I do think Will Levis is going to be the Colts pick. As much as Jim Irsay could say he loves the guy from Alabama, let's be real. You're not drafted Bryce Young. Like, let's just be freaking real. You're not drafted Bryce Young. Will Levis, welcome to the Colts, because that's exactly where the fuck you're going. Congratulations.
And it's not actually that far of a drive from Kentucky to Indianapolis. It's really not that far of a drive.
It's really not.
It's even a skip a hop if you get on a flight. So, just saying. Skip a hop if you get on a flight. And it's 3 seconds by jet. I'm just saying, you know? I mean, you know?
Like literally the borderline. What the fuck?
Look. Yeah, just pick me up there. Pick me up at the borderline, man. Right here. I'm not going to disagree with you with the Will Levis pick. I'm really not. Obviously, people talk about that. You know, he had a down year from the year he had prior. Well, yeah. His offensive line was banged up. His wide receivers were gone because they were doing amazing catches in the NFL. Now, I get it, though. If you're going to be one of the best quarterbacks, that shouldn't hinder you from performing. Now, Levis did have a down year. Like, let's be real, he did. And I can't hide the fact that he did have a down year. But granted to his own, yeah, a lot of players left. But when you're regarded as one of the better quarterbacks in the draft, that should not be an excuse, and that kind of should worry some teams. Now, a lot of teams, because I still think he's going to that's perfectly fine. But I would have like this. If Lucas had the year that he had last year in Kentucky, we probably be talking about him probably going number 2, number 1 in some cases. If that were the case, now I still don't see it, because even though he probably would have had a great year, I still would have taken CJ Stroud, because of all of them, I think CJ Stroud is better than all these guys. And yeah, Will Levis right now, he is my QB3 in my power rankings, just behind Bryson and behind CJ Stroud. So with that, though, with my pick and pick number 4 in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida.
I can't believe you.
Yeah,
I can't believe you. I can't believe this. This is not.
You can't believe me. I can't believe you. I can't believe you. Bryce Young is still available. I can't believe you, sir. I can't believe you. All right. Look, the reason I have Richardson here is because Richardson fits better with this coach. I think he fits better with this guy. And yes, he only had one. He's raw. He is raw talent. We've talked about this the very first episode when we did this. Anthony Richardson is a talent at 4. However, the Indianapolis Colts have been so desperate at quarterback, they do not need another Will Levis. They don't need another Matt Ryan. They don't need another this. They need a boomer bust project to get the fans excited, to give the fans hope. And why don't you get hope from this? Like I said, he only had 1 year as a starter. Just one. It was not a bad year. It's just Florida wasn't really that good. This Florida was not. They weren't the same Florida team. They didn't have anybody. They only had a couple pieces, but that's it. And they're a really talented team. Anthony Richardson is one of those players where I think you have to give them to Indianapolis only because of the hope factor. The hope that he could become just the same conversation that we had 3 years ago with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Philadelphia has to hope in his obstacles. And who was the head coach that did it? This guy. Who was the coach that overcame helping Jalen Hurts become the quarterback that he is? Now, does it help when you draft the Heisman Trophy winner and trade for another great wide receiver? You have an offensive line? Yes, but that's going to take time with it. And I think he can have the same route as Jalen Hurts. And why wouldn't you want bigger, faster, stronger Jalen Hurts. Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want that? You would love to have that. You would love to have that. You know, Anthony Richardson has the cannon of the arm. They need that. He needs that because it's not like the offensive line is going to be able to block all day. And he's more athletic than Will Levis. He's 6'4", 233, 2,500 passes, 17 touchdowns, and interceptions, with 9 rushing touchdowns to go along with this season. Okay. In his 1 year as a starter, he has more rushing touchdowns than Bryce Young being the starter. Okay. That has to be accounted for something. That has to be. And right now, he's going to, because he's a project, just like the Indianapolis Colts are going to be a project. They're going to grow together. It's scary thought when you're going boom or bust at number 4, but Indianapolis has no choice. They have no choice but to go back at this point. They don't. And there's nothing really other than I think he'd be a perfect fit here because I think he'll be able to run to the Colts offense. It's going to take time. He's going to learn. And like I mentioned to you, is Will Levis probably a pro-ready quarterback than Anderson? Yeah, 100%. But talent-wise, how much different are we? What's the difference? Like, what difference are we really talking about as far with Will Levis and Anthony Richardson? They both played in the SEC, and Anthony Richardson looked way more comfortable playing in the SEC than Will Levis did. And you can't use the fact that just, a bad year. No. One good year, only one starting. He did all he could for that Florida team. So, again, it's pretty scary to take a big boom or bust type of pick at 4, but the Indianapolis Colts need that. They need that hope because if he becomes the quarterback that I think everybody envisions him to be, the Indianapolis Colts, he'll be already the best quarterback in that division, and that's including Trevor Lawrence. So there it is. I got Anthony Richardson at 4.
Can't believe you.
What do you mean you can't believe me?
Can't believe you. I can't
what?
believe.
What?
I can't believe you would just do that. Just no. I think it's a great spot for him. I think it's actually a really good spot for him. Jonathan Taylor can run, can catch. It also would take a lot of pressure off of Jonathan Taylor doing so goddamn much if he does end up there, because then he can actually run. You got to figure out how throwing the ball is going to fit with his mechanics in the NFL. That's something that you're going to have to figure out going forward. But for the most part, it's a good goddamn pick. If he does end up at 4, it would be a good pick. I'm not going to sit there and act like it wouldn't be a good pick. I think that would be a hell of a pick. I think it would fit. But how much of a project do you have with a Jim Irsay who, let's be real, isn't the goddamn smartest owner in the world? Like, he has the patience of a rodent. Like, he has no time for you to try to figure shit out. He just has no time for it. So if you take a boomer bust like an Anthony Richardson, it's a great pick.
Have time
if
now.
It works. If it works, it's a great pick. But if it doesn't, now your job's up for grabs. And it's like, oh shit, who you gonna call now? Edgerrin James? You can call Edgerrin James to be the goddamn head coach? What the fuck you gonna get Reggie Wayne? What about Marvin Harrison? You want his son next year? Like, what's going on? Like, who are you gonna call to take my job? Like, this shit is ridiculous. Like, I feel like it's kind of like,
I don't think I've ever met a father or son. Could you imagine that? Like, Marvin Harrison being drafted to the Colts and Marvin Harrison's the head coach next year. Like, okay, son, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, father, I'm off.
Right,
like, God.
I like that. Like, yeah, it's just, I don't trust Jim Irsay, and I would love to see Anthony Richardson in the coach, but that's the same reason why I don't want to put Bryce Young there. The fucking owner is just too damn iffy. I don't like that shit. Like, it's just too damn iffy.
I think
he's too iffy.
I
Like,
think with that though, I think Jim Irsay has no. I think Jim Irsay has no other choice but to be patient because he's tried everything else. I mean, remember,
yeah,
we were just talking about the fact that he's revolved so many quarterbacks now. He has no choice but to be patient with this guy. He has to be
yeah, yeah.
because
But
there's far in between. There's so far few in between that come into the league and they have instant success. If you, all right, look, we talk about Josh Allen being a top quarterback. Were we really saying that his first 2 years in the league?
hell no,
No,
hell
no.
no.
It took time. It takes
Yeah,
time, folks. It takes time. All right. And this,
I,
why not? Why
I,
not
I,
take the time?
I think,
Because if he develops to be that quarterback we all envision him to be, then the Indianapolis Colts gets the steal basically of the draft.
yeah. I just, me personally, I got Anthony Richardson going first, with Carolina. I just feel like he fits Carolina a little bit more, because of what they look like more so on paper than the Colts. I think the Colts have enough depth in Gardner Minshew there already, because it's like, dude, how long do you actually think Gardner Minshew is actually going to keep that damn job before they say, okay, it's time to switch it up? Like how long do you really think that's going to happen? And that's why I also think Will
I
Levis
think
fits
it's
that
like
team better.
3 weeks of trouble. Yeah, and I said I think Will Levis would do amazing in Indianapolis, but they don't want the traditional quarterback anymore because they tried that. They tried everything.
I think the
They
thing about
tried the traditional way, and
I,
it's not
I,
working.
I think the traditional way wasn't working because you kept trying old ass quarterbacks. Like Phillip Rivers is done. We knew Phillip Rivers was done, but you kept trying to push him and make him seem like he was actually still going. Same thing with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was damaged goods. We all knew Carson Wentz was damaged goods, but the coach was like, no, he's not. And they gave him a chance. And then Matt Ryan has only had one great year of his entire career. That was with Kyle Shanahan. And my partner literally just said, even if he had Kyle Shanahan last year, his ass would have still shit the bed. So I'm just saying, maybe the old quarterback shit wasn't working. It's just maybe the new quarterback, maybe we gave him a chance. Maybe we shall see how that looks. But with this offense that he's about to run, I do see why Anthony Richardson does fit it. I actually 100% believe it does fit him. The problem with that is how long is the patience going to be for Jim Irsay? Because how quick is he going to sit there and say, well, this quarterback need to get his shit together right now? And it's like, oh shit, here we go.
Well,
So
that could be the
I
same thing
don't.
said for Will Levis.
It can be said for
And
Will Levis,
remember,
but
the only reason the only reason I put this in here because Will Levis is an athlete, not like he can. Okay, he's mobile, but is he going to be able to get out of his own way? Like if pressure collapse, can he avoid the pressure? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I didn't see enough of those because when the pressure was there, he took some hits. Anthony Richardson can at least be mobile enough to move out of harm's way and live another day, basically.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
So
But I'm looking also at the AFC South, and I'm like, whose defense are you scared of? Maybe Tennessee, and that's a soft
yeah,
ass
even
maybe.
they're kind of on a rebuild too.
It's just
I
like
mean,
maybe Tennessee, and you can't even say Tennessee. It's just like I don't know who you're afraid of in that division. That's another reason why I think if you're gonna take patience, you might as well take it with the pro quarterback that you actually have designed your offense to kind of be like more so. But I don't know. Either way it goes. Like always, we don't fucking know what these teams are gonna do until they do it. So we don't know. It might be Anthony Richardson. It might be Will Levis. Hell,
I
Bryce Young
think
might
I'm
be
just
there. They might
going
take him.
more. I think I'm just going more for the they need to get some juice going. They need to get some juice going for this team, and
In
that they
your
need to
eyes,
grow together.
you're like, they need to sell tickets. They need to put asses in seats. You would put asses in seats immediately. It's just like,
I mean, and it's not even about that. It's just more of the fact that like you said, yes, they were old, but remember, Will Levis is just as pro ready as these guys, and I just have this fear that man, he's not going to be able to learn how to move I just don't want him to be another sad
Daniel
story
Jones.
of
Daniel Jones.
exactly. I just don't want that. That's what I don't want. All
Fucking
right,
starts
like
running down the field and then he trips up on his own feet.
I don't want that. At least with Anthony Richardson, I know he'll be able to move out of the way. So that's all I'm saying.
I mean,
So
but
I it's,
we also don't, as good as fucked up as the Colts offensive line is, they do have a really good guard and they also have a really good center. So it should be okay.
yeah, but now let's talk about the right guard, left tackle, right tackle. Yeah, let's talk about those problems.
Hey, look here, I can't fix everything.
You know, I mean,
Hey,
and
look, I
look,
can't.
it's not to say that they can't draft one in the second round, but at least let's be realistic too. You know, like,
Yeah, yeah.
hey man, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. You know, like, so I'm just saying, I think in this instance, I think for Indianapolis, you have to take a shot. You have to take a shot for juice, and
Yeah.
I think this. I think the offensive coordinator from the Eagles, the new head coach of the Colts, I think he would just be enamored to know that, you know what, if I did this for Jalen, imagine what I could do for this kid. And I think he likes the challenge of that. So I, I'm I'm going with Anthony Richardson here.
Yeah, we did not pick the same person again. That's just
Yeah,
this is
no,
this
no,
starting to become a trend.
yes, yes. It is very weird that we are 1 for 4, and I guarantee you tomorrow we're going to be 1 for 5. I guarantee you that much right now. All right. So just to recap again, my friend over there, Mr. Brandon, took a Will Levis, the quarterback out of Kentucky, to be the new single caller for the Indianapolis Colts down the road whenever Gardner Minshew. Basically, what we're both saying is Gardner Minshew is only going to be a quarterback for so long until one of our guys is ready to go. Like, that's
We
how
agree
messed
on
up.
that. We agree on that shit. That is like we both agreed on
Like,
that.
yo, Gardner Minshew, like, you're there until it's like, oh, first sign of trouble, 2 weeks in a row, halfway through the third game. All right, man, time for the rookie to go in. And it's like, oh, but here he comes. Here he comes, Mr.
Oh
Rookie.
shit.
You know,
At least one of us
but
know. We both know Gardner Minshew's not gonna have that job forever. We both know that shit.
I'm like,
We're
I'm
not
willing to
wrong
place
on
a
that
bet.
prediction.
Like, man, I got to see what the schedule is, and I'll be like, okay, where's the first sign of trouble? Right here. All right, right here. Here's the first sign of trouble.
I'm not gonna go that
Right.
deep with it. I'm not gonna go that deep with it. I'll be like, that game right there seems a little shaky.
That game.
That
That
game right
game.
there. It seems a little shaky.
Like, you see that defense? You see that team right there? Yeah, that's a pretty good team. I think it's about to start. I think you got to start telling your kid to start warming up the arm just in case.
Like, that don't look good.
Yeah, but
It's not a good looking
my
game
friend,
for
he
Gardner
took Will
Minshew there.
Levis. Yeah, he took Will Levis. I took Anthony Richardson. At number 4. So it just depends on what you're looking at. Tell us what you guys think. If both were available, who would you take? Will Levis or Anthony Richardson? Let us know. Or would you pick somebody else completely? Because apparently Bryce Young is still apparently in Brandon's world. Like, Bryce Young is still available apparently.
I would
And if that
I
were
would hope the kid was not be sitting in the green room and he'd be at home looking at the draft like, okay, that's fucked up. It's just
I'm gonna
steam
put it
coming
like
out of
this:
his
if
ears.
what Bryce Young is there at 3, he's not gonna wait that long. Like, he's going. Like, that's it. All right, that's enough. Like, that's enough. Like, Saban is gonna trade up for him at that point. So it is what it is. So yeah, no. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section. Would you take Anthony Richardson? Would you take Bryce Young, or I'm sorry, Will Levis, or would you take somebody else at that point if they were available? But other than that, that is our show today. Brandon, thank you for joining. Everybody that's going to tune into this episode later, thank you so much. Tomorrow, it is pick number 5. We have the Denver Broncos on. We got the Denver Broncos on, but Seattle's going to make the pick because of the whole Russell Wilson ordeal. And
Holy shit!
man,
What a trade! What a trade! What the fuck happened?
man, what
Oh
a
my
bummer!
God. What the fuck? We talking about the Colts. what the fuck happened with Denver? There wasn't that many injuries with Denver. They just fucking just sucked. What the fuck? I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna
You want
tell
to know
about.
when I
I'm
knew
gonna
it
talk
was over?
about
You want to know when I knew what it's over?
when.
When they did the first presser for Russell Wilson, and he's in his uniform, Bronco country. That's right. And I'm like, no, this ain't gonna work, bro. this ain't for me, dog.
Well, I was like, yeah, I dip out on this shit. This is a terrible movie. I don't want this.
And I was like, and I'm such an advocate for the Broncos. You know what? And I'm saying it for years. The Denver Broncos have great quarterback play. That's all they need. That's all they need. When they traded for Russell Wilson, I was like, yes, okay. I think the Denver Broncos are finally gonna make some noise. Bronco country. That's right. And I'm like, nah, that ain't it, dog. That ain't it, dog. That ain't it, dog. Nah,
he gave up on the team immediately.
I'm just like, dude, preseason hasn't even started, and I'm like, I'm off. I'm off. And before we even did the pick'em show, and I saw that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna put Denver at 4 now. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Good luck to everybody else, though, but that's enough for me. Like I had no faith in the point when he started. Like, oh, we're gonna all right, Bronco, and he tried to say it louder to sound more manly, like Broncos country, and I'm just like, please stop, please, stop. Please, this ain't you. This ain't you. And then he had his whole Matrix moment when he's in the middle of the field, going in circles with his eyes closed, having the whole Matrix moment. I'm just like, man, I know weed is legal in Denver and Colorado, but goddamn. Time and place, people. Time and place. Goddamn. Like, goddamn.
He was happy.
He was happy.
He was so happy. He was so happy.
I'm just like, yeah, so yeah, the Broncos are on tomorrow, but the Seahawks are going to make the pick, so we're going to talk about the Broncos. What kind of went right? What didn't go right? The improvements that they did in the offseason, and then we'll make the pick for Seattle. And I can already tell you this much: I do not think we're going to have the same player again. I don't think so. I don't think so. So, yeah, Bronco country. You're on. Like, man. Like, good God. Like, you're up, Bronco country. Like, you're up, man. And God help. May God have mercy on your soul this offseason. Because no, I will say this, though. Just a little preview. I will say this. They're having an excellent offseason. I will say, at least I know this much. At least I know the new owner of Denver Broncos are not afraid to spend, which is awesome. Okay? They're not afraid to spend, which is great. So, but it's just, yeah, they need a lot of help. they need a miracle for this thing to work, and they're trying. God bless their soul, they're trying, bro.
This is so interesting when Sean Payton was like, "Yeah, we're trading all 3 receivers. We're taking trade calls on all 3 receivers. We don't give a shit no more." It's like
I'm like, hey, Sean, you gotta at least keep one. No, I don't. What's this?
No,
all 3 of you. Who said
that? Who said that?
Who made you keep? Yeah, Sean Payton. Dude, I'm going to tell you, man. We're going to talk about when Sean Payton came to the Broncos. So far, it has been nothing but just beautiful pressers. Did you know that zone office, the head coach? Yeah, I'll play that. I'm like, so what do you think? No, I don't want Sean Payton to look at the league. And no, I demand you give me a first rounder or a second player or a second rounder plus player. Like, I demand you give me this. Sean, I'm going to tell you this right now, man. That's not thing you have there. That's not it's not Terrell Owens that you had when you were the offensive coordinator for Dallas. No, my man, Jerry Jeudy. I'll give you a lifetime membership of Mr. Peanuts and Peanut Gallery tour. Okay, like, like, dude, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You want me to trade? You want me to give you a first? You want me to give you a 4th round KJ Hamler? You want me to give you a second for Cortland Sutton? And it's gonna be kind of awkward if they're all like there next year, and they'll be like, "Okay, wide receivers," and they'll be looking at him like, yeah, "Fuck you! You just trying to trade me, you bitch! Like you just trying to trade me, you ass."
You
Speaking
run
of
around,
trades, I don't think
motherfucker.
Denver.
He's just like, you
Like,
run around,
nah,
motherfucker. I don't want to do that.
you run around. I don't give a shit. I ain't doing this, So I don't know. For Denver, oh man,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be interesting to talk about Denver tomorrow, and I can't wait because I like what they
Dude,
did. I'm liking the moves they're doing. It sucks that they're not picking up 5 because they can definitely use some help right freaking now. So,
it's gonna get
it is
interesting.
what it is. It is what it is. But all right, my man. Until then, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you guys tomorrow night. All of you have a wonderful night. Be safe, Brandon. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.
And it's just so bad.